Hello everybody, welcome to AstroEdify. We are going to talk about quite a famous combination in Jyotish, that is Saturn-Rahu conjunction or Saturn-Rahu yoga. Whenever Saturn and Rahu are together in any house, any zodiac sign, what kind of results they can give, that we are going to understand. Positive, negative, both. Technically, most of the time it is considered one of the notorious negative combinations or a Shrapit yoga, a cursed yoga in Jyotish. And we are going to also understand that how much of it is true and whether Saturn Rahu always function negatively for any individual, whoever they may be, or they can also give you quite good results sometimes. So that we are going to understand. And if you see any kind of negative results of Saturn Rahu, what are the remedies one can follow, that we will also talk about later at the end of this video. So let's start this. If you want to book a consultation for yourself or you want to learn astrology and do a course, you can go on this website. The link is shown in description. You can also connect on this WhatsApp number shown below for consultations and course. So we are going to talk about Saturn-Rahu conjunction today. Now understand that Saturn-Rahu conjunction is a quite sensitive combination in Jyotish, and it must be looked quite thoroughly, quite carefully in anybody's horoscope whenever it is manifesting. Now, the reason is that Saturn and Rahu are two natural malefics and they have full capacity to induce all kind of troubles. If they are negative for any individual, we will see what kind of troubles they can bring. But it depends a lot on other planets in the chart. If they are fine, then Saturn Rahu can give you suitable results in your life as well. It's not always negative. Like it is being discussed that if anybody has Saturn Rahu conjunction, that person is doomed or nothing is going to be happening in their lives in a positive sense. Sometimes it has been propagated in that manner that it is a Shrapit yoga or a cursed combination, and anybody who has this is bound to fail in life and suffer. So it's not always the situation. You just have to understand that if my other planets are fine, then Saturn Rahu can function very well as well. It's not necessary that always you are going to end up in any kind of trials, pain, suffering, tribulations in their lives. It's not like that. So understand that when they can give good results, first of all, Saturn Rahu must be well placed. So by well placed, I mean that they are in their own sign, exaltation sign, or friendly signs, or they are also sitting in certain particular houses, then they are considered beneficial, like in 3rd, 6th, 7th, 10th and 11th house. In these houses they are considered suitable. 7th house, Saturn Rahu can fetch certain troubles in marriage and relationships, but with respect to other material aspects it is considered still suitable. Keeping in mind, Saturn Rahu must be well placed in suitable zodiac signs. So you also have to look at the other planets, because this becomes very relevant in order for Saturn Rahu to function well. And they are Sun, Moon, Ascendant Lord, particularly, then Jupiter and 9th house. Because when you are looking at Saturn Rahu, this is a combination of adharma. Adharma means immorality, unethical behavior, all kind of negative attributes in life. No, they can easily bring it. But who can prevent, who can actually bring a sense of morality, righteousness in the person? That is Jupiter and 9th house. So for assessing Saturn Rahu conjunction properly, you need to see the condition of Sun, Moon, Ascendant Lord, 9th house and Jupiter. The more they are well placed, the better they are in the chart, the more they are making good combinations, the more Saturn Rahu will give positive results in life. This is the key. Understand this. So Saturn Rahu can fetch positive results only and only if the other planets that I mentioned, they must be suitably placed in the chart. So Sun, Moon, Ascendant Lord, Jupiter and 9th house. Now, what are the good results possible? So first of all, understand that Saturn Rahu are devoid of emotions. They are planets of logic, reason, scientific approach and practicality. Hence, if they have prominent influence on somebody's personality, then obviously they will make person more logical, rational, practical, cynical, skeptical, scientific, and quite analytical in approach, research oriented, less emotional, more observant, very fine keen observation, sharp memory, quite intelligent, clever, and street smart approach. You are able to see that the person is has the knowledge of how things work in real life, not just bookish knowledge. It makes person quite resourceful, able to find solutions even in hardest of the situations, quite opportunistic, and know when particular thing needs to be done, that kind of thing. And Saturn-Rahu with strong Mercury always makes person very sharp in their thinking, in their reason, and in their action as well. They find the smart ways to do the things rather than going in the long hard process of hard work. No, Saturn-Rahu always finds a easy way out. That is why it makes person quite innovative also. Then in terms of approach, it also can show quite a lot of tactfulness. It makes person quite strategic, patient. They don't rush into things, take time, and quite diplomatic. Anything the person has to act out will be through logic and reason, will be through thinking, will be through foresight. It will not be taken in a rush of emotions or in a rush of hasty desires. Never. That is Saturn-Rahu. Then it also makes person very persuasive in communication, even though it can show that you might not be overly talkative. Saturn doesn't socialize too much. Rahu can, Saturn doesn't. So it's like that I mostly have a lot of professional social circle where I know a lot of people, but it's like a quid pro quo kind of stuff, like give and take. If somebody has some benefits and favors from me and I have the same thing from them, so it's more like kind of a practical give and take kind of a relationship most of the times. But it generally brings that ability to form social connections, ability to pave your way through society. And it also shows that like I said, the communication will be impressive, diplomatic, factual, and limited in a sense that this is what is needed and that is what I will do. Not unnecessary gibberish talk, that kind of thing. Then it can also show person can be quite materialistic. Most of the time Saturn-Rahu are Maya. They are not detachment or isolation and spirituality. No. Saturn-Rahu conjunction most of the time will make person drive towards materialism. It's nothing wrong. The point here is that how you are fulfilling it, that matters. So materialistic desires, ambitions are quite high. Hence it enhances the greed in the person and attachment and fear. So greed for attaining more and more, and attachment to the things that you attained, and fear of losing them. And hence it makes person quite distrusting and cynical in behavior. They never trust anybody easily. Then Saturn knows that Saturn-Rahu are, like I said, very rational. That how I know how the real world works, how people are, how societies are, how systems work. I know this. So I am going to be working in that fashion. I am not going to be easily trusting anybody, because I know there is nothing to be trusted anymore. So that kind of attitude is Saturn-Rahu. Then it can also show excellent business sense. Shani-Rahu does not mean that all the time person is going to be a businessman or a self-employed person. No. if yogas for business are present in the chart, Saturn Rahu conjunction is considered to be very excellent for being a businessman or an entrepreneur. It gives you a very fine sense of business acumen, very fine. Knows how the money flows, how the businesses are started and developed and sustained and grown. That kind of natural talent. I'm not talking about doing an MBA program. No, I'm talking about person is born with this kind of intelligence, this kind of buddhi, thought process. They don't require any kind of a school to teach them. That is the natural trait of being a sharp businessman in life. That is Saturn Rahu. Then it also shows that person, I'm talking about a good part here. We are expecting that Jupiter is fine. So Jupiter is fine, it means that the person is not going to be immoral. He's not going to be doing any illegal things or will be a corrupt individual. I'm not saying, I'm assuming that this is not the case, okay, because this is the case of good Saturn Rahu. So when this will happen, it means that person is moral, person is not corrupt, and he or she is not engaging in any kind of immoral, illegal, illicit behavior. But what does it mean? That the person is still self-centered, more driven by self-material goals. Hence, what matters to them is their own individual growth and success. So, no matter how good your Jupiter or 9th house or whatever is, Shani, Rahu, if you are driven by them, then they are always going to make person driven towards self and self motives and own desires. It is not a combination where I'm going to care about too much about the society. No, it is a combination of being a businessman. Businessman only cares about his own profit. That's all. So it means that even if I am not an immoral man or a woman, but still I am self-servient. I am not going to be very compassionate or overly driven by emotions or overly following the law as a rule book. Never. You will always find Shani Rahu to be rational, practical, cynical and skeptical. You will never find it to be idealistic. Idealism and false hopes are the domain of Jupiter. So when person is driven by Shani Rahu too much, they still can be on the right side of the law, right side of the code of conduct. But it does not mean that they are very driven too much by false hopes or big ideologies or high idealism. No. Shani Rahu means that I care about my ambitions, my material assets, my accomplishments, what I have gained, my things in life, and that is what matters to me. I don't care about other things. Whether society functions or ruins, I don't care. That is Saturn Rahu. So this is one thing. That is why I say, if Jupiter is damaged, it can throw easily the person on the other side of the dharma, means immorality, easily. Because no matter how good your Jupiter is, still Saturn Rahu can bring this kind of overly crude practical mentality, that kind of thing. Now, another thing here is it does not develop easy emotional closeness with much people in life. No matter who, whether your parents, whether your kids or husband or wife or any friends or whatever, siblings, anybody. It does not generate easy emotional connection. It's like because of excessive rationalism, the person can be thinking that everybody is connected with just selfish motives. My parents, my kids, my husband or wife, my friends, everybody at the end is there because of some selfish motives, and I am also connected with them for my selfish reasons. That is how they are, and that is what Saturn Rahu brings. Excessive rationalism, which is diminishing your emotions completely. And what does it show? It shows that you can be accomplished, but you can never be satisfied, no matter what. Saturn Rahu cannot give you satisfaction. They can give you accomplishments, they can give you things in life, but what they cannot give you is peace of mind. They cannot give you sense of belonging, and they cannot give you satisfaction. They can't. That is not their domain. What they can only bring is greed, constant chase of materialism, material accomplishments, but they are bringing more and more attachment and fear of losing the things and living in anxiety and a constant fear, constant zone of distrust, that kind of thing. That is Saturn Rahu. Then it is considered good for material progress. So it takes time. Saturn Rahu are slow planets, so they take time to give results. They make you work hard through challenges, and later on they give you success. That is how they work. So Saturn Rahu is considered positive with respect to material progress, money, power, status, reputation, position, or any kind of luxuries, wealth, pleasures, assets, anything. They are good for that. If they are well placed, they are considered very supportive for material growth and success, and they are considered excellent for certain areas. First of all kind of STEM fields. So science, technology, engineering, mathematics, manufacturing, heavy industries, all kind of heavy industries, oil, gas, coal, iron, steel, infrastructure, cement, power, anything, all kind of technological, manufacturing and engineering areas, any kind. Saturn Rahu are good for that. You have to see other combinations. Then they are excellent for politics. Then they are excellent for research and development in any area. Law, I'm not talking about being a judge, but all the lawyers or advocates, they can be seen with this. Then businessmen, like I said, say traders, merchants, businessmen, entrepreneurs, they can be seen. People who have been working in banking sector, financial sector, related to loans and debts, that can be seen. Saturn Rahu. So Saturn Rahu can show a lot of promising results in life, like we discussed. So they are not always negative, like people have a lot of fear in the mind that Saturn Rahu conjunction means life is just gone now, it's doomed. No. So these are the results. Now we will talk about, and one more thing, whatever Saturn Rahu will give will always happen with delay. No matter how good they are, delay will be the part of life. Whether it is your career, whether it is your education, whether it is your marriage or relations or anything, some delay, some challenges, some struggles come, and then only the things move forward. That is how they function. The only suggestion which I will say here is that, assuming that the person, good Saturn Rahu with other planets well placed, it means that you are following the dharma in life, morality in life. Hence, the only suggestion which I will say here is that whenever they give you success in life, first of all, be modest. Have a sense of humility. Very important. Then have gratefulness, gratitude to the things that you got, to the God. And third, constant action orientedness. Three things must be there in the personality so as to stabilize the things that you got. Otherwise, what will happen? They can fetch you success, but later on, if there is a high sense of ego or ungrateful behavior or taking things for granted and thinking yourself as far superior than others, and it is showing in a lot of arrogance in your behavior, then definitely what they have given, they will take it back, will throw you or put you in place, because Saturn hates ego. And who is ego? Your sun. Now we will talk about Saturn Rahu. If they are badly placed, what happens then? So by badly placed, I mean that they are sitting in enemy signs, debilitation signs, and they are in Kendra or Trikona houses, sitting in bad Rashis. The zodiac sign in which they are sitting, the lord of that sign is badly placed in the chart. And the most important is Sun, Moon, Ascendant Lord, and Jupiter in 9th house. The more they are badly placed, the more Saturn-Rahu will function negative in the life. Now, all the results which I will discuss now, treat them as a source of information. Don't jump to conclusions unnecessarily. You can see that the results will vary from person to person, horoscope to horoscope. Hence, whatever is being discussed from now on, you have to just take it as a student of astrology, nothing more. But the first thing that they can bring is adharma. Negative Saturn Rahu can show adharma. Adharma means complete lack of morality. Hence, immoral behavior, excessive greed, selfishness, lies, cunningness, manipulation, deceitful nature, backbiting approach, any kind of complete lack of emotions, sociopathic tendencies. Then for your own selfish ulterior motives and fulfillment of your desires, the person can go to any lengths. Don't care about right and wrong. No virtues, no sense of right and wrong is there. Hence, indulgence in any kind of illegal, corrupt malpractices, illicit activities can be seen. We can see violent crimes and non-violent crimes both, particularly since Saturn Rahu are the planets of greed. Hence, they can show white collar crimes as well, like scandals, scams, embezzlement, tax evasion, smuggling, gambling, betting, or any other kind of I'll say like money laundering. Any of these things they can show this. Person has a lot of lethargy and does not want to do anything, rather seek shortcuts. They don't go into any kind of hard work or smart work either, rather just want to fulfill their desires in a easy, sleazy way. It shows kubuddhi, wrong use of intellect, wrong use of knowledge every time, and it can also make person quite a coward. Never a person who faces the situation easily, rather a coward and like a snake who is harming you or coming you from behind, that kind of thing. That is Saturn Rahu. Then Saturn Rahu can also show troubled education or failed education, illiteracy, or speech problems. Either the person is a pathological liar and a manipulator, or speech defects of any kinds, speech delay, learning problems, learning disabilities, memory problems can be seen where person is not able to learn properly. You need to see Jupiter, Moon and Mercury for that as well. Then no relationship survives or is good. No relationship, not only your marriage or love or romantic relationship, any, with parents, with siblings, with friends, with children, with husband, with wife, with partner, anybody. No relation, because every relation will be based on lies, secrecy, selfish ulterior motives, and just complete I'll say a complete lack of emotions or very poor emotional connection. Hence, the relationship doesn't survive. Marriages which are based on like people lies, they didn't tell what they actually are before marrying, or dowry, or any other kind of gains out of the person, like gaining any property or PR or anything like that, any kind of fraud. That is Saturn Rahu. The person only cares about him or herself, can't be trusted, doesn't trust anybody else either, and hence no relationship sustain. They can be excellent manipulators, make you believe that they care about a lot, but actually that will not be there at all. Then it can show any kind of addictions, all kind of addictions, whether it is smoking, alcohol, or substance abuse, drug abuse, sex addiction, gambling, any kind of addictions. And at the same time, the dharma will not be there, means no, either it means it can make person with no belief in religion, tradition, culture whatsoever. And it can also make a strong Pitra Dosha. I have made a detailed video on what Pitra Dosha is. A very negative combination in astrology, actually a curse yoga. And that is why Saturn-Rahu is known as Shrapit Yoga. Shrapit Yoga means a cursed yoga. Why? Because it has capacity to create Pitra Dosh. So what is Pitra Dosh? What are the conditions when it is made? How it is made? And what are the remedies? I have made a detailed video. You can watch it here in the I button. Click on it and watch that video. So Saturn-Rahu, whenever particularly are badly placed with poor Sun, Moon, Ascendant Lord or 9th house or Jupiter and influencing 2nd, 4th, 5th or 9th house, it can easily make Pitra Dosha. And Pitra Dosha is not a it's not a simple combination. It does not only impact you or the person who has it, but it impacts the entire generation of the family or the lineage that person belongs to. It means that only not you are going to suffer, but all other people in the family, parents, grandparents, children, their children, or any other people like your uncles, aunts or their kids, entire generation of that lineage is going to suffer, and they can suffer in innumerable ways, whether the health is poor, career problems, no peace, constant legal battles, fights and short lives, bad marriages, unhealthy relationships, extremely toxic environment. Anything can exist, anything, and it does not go away easily. It takes a lot of time. That is Pitra Dosha. Watch that video to learn more and follow the remedies. They have been discussed there in detail. So Saturn-Rahu can create a lot of problems. They can also show financial problems, loans, debts, business failures, career downfalls, rise and then downfall, or the person has no stable job, no stable income, constant instability and unemployment, any kind of legal problems, court cases, litigation is going on which never ends, or you lose enemies, hidden enemies and enemies which are in there whom you know, but they will torment and can win upon you. That is Saturn-Rahu if they are badly placed. No peace of mind, no satisfaction ever in life, rather they can show only pain, suffering and distress. Then any kind of health problems which are incurable, any incurable issues, even, and which only create pain and suffering, means ultimately they can be fatal, but they will be creating pain and suffering, bedridden states or constant pain and suffering because of incurable nature, any kind of health issues. That is all Saturn-Rahu if they are badly placed for health. For fertility, if they are influencing 5th, 9th house or their lords, childbirth will not be easy. Either your too much delay or infertility or pregnancy complications, any kind of harm to the child, relationship with the child is not good, any kind of issues that can be seen. Troubles with the government, Saturn-Rahu, any kind of legal punishments, imprisonment, if any kind of such harsh combinations are occurring in the chart then. So again I repeat, don't take it as like a virgin, okay, if I have this combination I am destroyed. No, you just have to see all the combinations and then come to conclusion. So I am just telling you all kind of possibilities. Take it as a source of information. It will vary from case to case. So Saturn-Rahu, like I told you, it has a lot of negative attributes, and at the same time, if you see that even if the person has accomplishments, Saturn-Rahu later on can show rise in ego, arrogance, and total lack of control, lack of self-control, due to which person ultimately fails or downfall comes. So these are obviously the negative results, but I have explained and tried to give you a picture of this combination in both the views, both the perspectives, positive and negative. So that's all. I hope you understood how Saturn-Rahu can function and what kind of results we can expect if they are sitting in anybody's case. And if you like this video, like it, share it, and comment on it. And if you are new to my channel, subscribe below for more information and new posts. You can join on my Facebook page, website, and Instagram. Their links are shown in description. Otherwise, we'll meet in the next video. Till then, goodbye and thank you.